Summer Jam is back. So throughout July, there will be discounts to gold upgrades, elixir upgrades, dark elixir upgrades, and then for the final week, everything. I will run you through all of the details as well as the season calendar so you know what to expect in July, followed by the hero skins and scenery coming. First thing on the season calendar though is Summer Jam and the gold quest. So from the 1st of July until the 8th, any gold-based upgrades are discounted. Now, for Town Hall 16 and below, it is 40% off the cost and time of upgrades, and for Town Hall 17 and 18 players, it is 25% off the cost and time, exactly the same as last year. It's just that it's extended for lower Town Hall players, exactly the same as what they do with cost and time reductions. However, it's not just the discounts. The gold mines during this period will be boosted by 2.5 times the efficiency. That is both in how much they produce and also the storage capacity. What this means is when you do farming attacks, other people's gold mines will have been filling faster and potentially to a larger amount, meaning you can loot a lot of gold to help with your gold upgrades. Couple of things before we move further on in the calendar. The amount of discount applied is locked in at the start of the event. So if you upgrade your town hall in between the event, the discount applied is from the start. So if you went from 16 to 17, you would still have the 40% discount throughout this part of the Summer Jam. That would change moving into the elixir section later on. The discounts applied also do stack with gold pass discounts. They are not additive. It's more that they're merged together. So for Town Hall 18s, as an example, your 20% gold pass discount will be applied after the 25% has been taken off. Also note that temporary content, that is superchargers and the crafted defenses, just like last year, will not be applied with this discount. Last thing I will say before we move on in the calendar is that I wish we had more heads up on this so that we could have planned a little bit better for this Summer Jam. Yes, there was a lot of questions asking, like, is it going to happen again this year? But we didn't have any confirmation. Would have been nice to be able to pre-plan a little bit with builders moving into this. At least Summer Jam is the entire month, and by revealing all of the different sections here today, you'll be able to plan your upgrades throughout July. But I would have liked more than a one-day heads up for this gold period. Following that, on the season calendar though, we do have the Clan War Leagues, only one Clan War League this month. Moving across though, we then have July the 8th. Now there's a few different things. I'm actually going to move down over to the mini spotlight event first, because there's not much to say about that. Looks like it's going to be the Sneaky Goblin. Of course, what a great choice, especially when we're trying to farm as much. Even though, to be honest, I think a lot of people use like Mass Valkyries to farm, but Sneaky Goblins will be very quick at getting that loot. So a great choice on the Super Troop to be boosted. Moving back up to the 1 gem Goblin Researcher. This is massively important, actually, because we have the Summer Jam Elixir quest. Not too much to say on this because it's exactly the same as the gold. What I would recommend is if you want to complete any gold upgrades, start those upgrades whilst you have the discount on like the 7th or the morning of the 8th before it changes to the elixir discount. There'll be timers in the game so you know when these periods are going to switch exactly. You want to take advantage of the gold discounts, lock those builders up just before the event finishes because you'll be able to spend elixir in the laboratory, and that's why the 1 gem researcher is here. Now this is pretty cool because it is 1 gem per job, not per day, which usually the Goblin Builder and Researcher is 40 gems per day, which at higher level that ends up costing hundreds of gems if you want to get a second researcher going. No, this is 1 gem. So that's amazing. Definitely take advantage of that across the elixir period because, yeah, exactly the same as the gold, the elixir collectors are boosted. What is, however, important to note though is moving to the dark elixir section, 15th through the 22nd. Clearly, you want to be upgrading your heroes during that time, and I would try and get your builders so they are free, ready for this Dark Elixir period, because heroes will be available whilst they're upgrading across that week. I think Supercell learned from last year where they did Summer Jam. It's the first time they did Summer Jam, and yeah, it wasn't very good because we wanted to take advantage of the Dark Elixir part, and yet we couldn't because our heroes were upgrading. So it's great to see that that is in place, and this is the time to upgrade your heroes and take advantage of that. It might be that you do try and use some builder potions to like finish off your hero upgrades before this time finishes so that you can start the upgrades again, because the unlimited hero event does not move across into the everything quest. It will be there for 1 day of the everything boost, but then, yeah, for whatever reason, we can't use our heroes whilst they're upgrading over that last week. I don't know the rationale for that. It feels weird. I would just like to see the unlimited heroes across both of the Dark Elixir sections. It's better than last year. They have iterated on Summer Jam and made it a bit better this year. We've got the 1 gem boost. We've got the heroes whilst they're upgrading. Lower town halls get more of an accelerated boost. So it is definitely better than last year. I just think, why not give us the unlimited heroes over the final part? So yep, from the 22nd through to the 1st of August, all of these boosts are combined. So the Gold Elixir and Dark Elixir, everything essentially is boosted in the Gold Mines, Elixir Collectors, and the Dark Elixir Drills, and the time and cost discounts. You do absolutely want to try and make sure that before this event finishes on the 1st of August, you lock your builders up, because you will get that discount. As long as you start the upgrade, you'll get the cost discounted, but obviously you will still get the time discounted as well. You do want to be using some builder potions, I would say. Research potions, absolutely, whilst you've got the 2 researchers going. But my point is to try and take advantage of the boost before it goes away. 2 other things on the calendar here, the Treasure Hunt event and the Clan Games. Nothing really much to say there. Treasure Hunt event appears to be for everyone this month, so that's good news. However, let's move to the hero skins and the scenery. The hero skin in the Gold Pass, I think, is fantastic. It is the Zeus King. If you are purchasing the Gold Pass, remember beforehand you can press the C and enter a content creator's code. My code is Judo, and it really helps to support my channel. You can also do that on the Supercell store to earn extra items such as runes, books, and gems for making your purchases on the store, and code Judo over there is also very much appreciated. It does work in any Supercell game, and you do have to input it every 7 days because that's as long as it lasts. Moving on to all of the cosmetics coming in the month then. The first hero skin available is in the Gold Pass, and it is the Zeus King. As you can expect, aesthetically, he is generating the lightning bolts, even has an impact within the hero hall, much like we've seen previously with the anime skins. Within the hero hall, when you tap the king, he will teleport to different areas, which looks kind of cool, to be honest. But moving into his attack, you have a cloud and a clear spawn point from where you deploy the king, naturally walks across towards a building and uses the lightning in order to hit. You have that impact onto the building as well. However, when he goes down, check out this knockdown animation. The biggest lightning bolt you've ever seen, giving him an electric shock. It's a good job the knockdown animations like fade away in the live game, because this, as amazing as it looks, is definitely a bit distracting. The first legendary hero skin available for purchase though is on the 5th of July. It is the Hydra Duke. Being a gigantic serpent, the Dragon Duke is the perfect pick for this one. The dragon heads initially having a bit of a fight here before getting together to attack all as one in the hero hall. In the home village, one of these dragon heads clearly feels a bit peckish or something, whilst the other 2 tell it off. Moving to attacking, you again have a clear indication of where you have deployed the Dragon Duke, and it honestly feels quite slow when it's moving around through the base. I know that the hero skins are just cosmetics, so attack speed, everything like that is not impacted. However, all of the dragon heads attacking in synergy, using the water to splash onto the buildings, and for the knockdown animation of this hero skin, all of the dragon heads just tangled, unable to move. On July the 7th, the Medusa Queen will then be available with a head of snakes, luring you into a false sense of security in the hero hall before jump scaring you. In the home village, her snakes start to fight before she keeps them in check. Moving into the attack though, you again have clear indication as to where you deploy the queen. Fairly standard movement around the map, to be honest, but I do like the purple arrow that she fires. With all of the hero skins recently, you can see an impact as she connects to the building with that arrow, and for her knockdown animation, she is frozen still, turned to stone, just like you've seen in the Hero Hall. Next up, on the 9th of July, we have the Poseidon Warden. As the Lord of the Seas, he is underwater within the Hero Hall, creating a splash with his trident. In the home village, he will spin around, generating a ball of water in order to throw at his opponent. For his attack, a purple deployment area, and he will just crawl around towards his target when he's on ground mode, using his trident to splash water towards the buildings. Kind of similar to the River Warden or the Dragon Warden. However, on ground mode, when he goes down, he's all tangled up from the tentacles. When you have him on air mode, it's very similar. He's just floating though towards his target. The attack itself is pretty much the same. However, when he goes down, he is essentially swimming towards the surface for air. On the 11th of July, we have the Midas Prince. Flies into the Hero Hall full of gold, as you'd expect, just like in Greek mythology, has his golden torch, turning whatever he touches into gold. In the home village, when you tap on the minion prince, he will hold this torch into the air with lots of the golden coins dropping off it before touching the ground and making that turn gold as well. It is very easy to keep track of your minion prince with all of the gold that he is wearing. It's a fairly standard attack animation for the minion prince. However, when he goes down, he's obviously dropped too many of those coins with his feet stuck to the ground underneath them. Finally, available on the 13th of July, all of these hero skins are available from their launch date through to the end of the month, and I appreciate the support with code Judo if you're making any skin purchases as well. On the home village, it's quite funny. She plays fetch with these, throwing her spear, and the ghouls will bring those back. And then moving into attack, she brings those with her, and I think this is fantastic. The Seeking Shield, let's start with that. When she throws that, it basically pools these, like, ghosts together in order to ping them through the defenses. Really cool. Kind of a normal movement animation for the Royal Champion, and attack animation, to be honest. It's just that she has that glowing spear. However, when she does get knocked down, this is put through her, and the ghouls are spinning around above her head. Finally, onto the scenery for July. It is the Barbarian Odyssey scenery. This is actually available on the 3rd of the month. I just like to keep all of the hero skins together in that section. But this is another XL scenery, so you are able to zoom all of the way out. I don't normally mention this, actually, but the selection screen for the sceneries, I think this looks fantastic, with the 3 snake heads and the shield underneath. However, moving to the scenery itself, as I've mentioned previously, I really like the XL sceneries to be able to zoom out, and you have so much more going on around the village. There's so many stories you can get into, whether that's the boat at the very north of the base, where as it's drifting past, you can clearly see that underwater beast about to take it down. Is that one of these shipwrecks that are scattered around the base? There are numerous of them that you can zoom around to. You then have the Medusa Queen on her throne with barbarians that run up towards her before she turns those to stone as well. And one thing that's really interesting on this scenery, I've said for a little while and gave feedback that I'd love to have a bit more interactivity with the sceneries, but actually there's one area to the southwest where a giant is turned to stone, and you can actually tap it to bust it into smithereens. You've then got the Cyclops down to the bottom right of the base, who likes to play golf with the skull. There's so many different areas around the base where you can see little stories happening all of the time. However, I will say when I first looked at the tiles, they threw me off a little bit because you have the light and darker gray patterned rocks in the middle of the base. Then you have those green rocks around the outside, but then a very similar pattern of rocks even further than that. And the green border is where you can't place buildings. You would be able to place troops in your attack. Some of the more original sceneries used to have this blended look from the inside of the base all of the way to the outside and to the scenery itself, so it wasn't always clear where you could and couldn't deploy your troops. Whilst there is a lot more story and character going on with this scenery, definitely different from last month's Anime Fury scenery where there was very minimal going on and it was quite peaceful. It's not my favorite theme, if you will, but I think that's probably more an impact of just the amount of sceneries we are getting nowadays that are such high quality. Subjectivity, you're always going to have your favorites. Let me know what you think of the hero skins and scenery coming this month, though. And I'm actually going to link you to one of my closest Clash of Clans challenges yet. I attempted to get all 18 3-stars in my ranked attacks in only 30 minutes. I'd recommend checking that out. I am sure you will like it. Enjoy the rest of your day.